Okay, this is the tutorial to watch for completing your first checkpoint of the animation project. I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to set up your project, import an image, and start to rotoscope that image using your paintbrush tool and layers in Photopea. So the first things you want to do is go to photopea.com. You're going to go to File, New, because you're going to make a new project. And you should give it your name. You can call it animation, or just your name is fine. And make it 1000 by 1000 pixels. And turn it square. And then make sure your background here is selected. Select transparent instead of white. Make it transparent and hit create. So here you have your workspace, and you're going to need to import a photo of somebody that you care about, maybe a loved one that you'd like to pay a tribute to. This person could still be living. This person could be somebody who you've lost and who you care about, or it should be some sort of portrait. So you do File, Open, and Place. Once you've already downloaded that photo, you should to your computer, you can click on File, Open in Place, and you're going to find that photo. So most likely, if you downloaded that photo from your email, it's going to be somewhere in your downloads folder. I already moved mine to my desktop, so I'm going to find it in my desktop. And I'm going to use this self-portrait here of me holding a camera, one of my first cameras, and I'm going to click Open. Okay, so you should have a nice big canvas there. If it's too small, you can always use this magnifying glass right here at the bottom, and you can zoom in to see what you're working with. So you need one photo at least. All right, so I've got my photo. Next thing you need to do, and this is the most important part of this step, is you need to add a new layer. Okay, so when you trace or when you do a rotoscope, you're not going to trace directly onto the image. If you do that, your project's not going to work. And you're going to do a lot of work, and then it's going to be frustrating. So click on this bottom icon here. It looks like a little page turn, and click New Layer. Okay, alternatively, you can come up to Layer and just say New Layer. Okay, so you should have your photo imported, and then you should have a layer that's dropped down on top of that layer, on top of your image. If they're reversed, you can always just move layers around, but you want to make sure that blank layer, transparent layer, is on top of your photo, because that's the layer that you're going to end up drawing on. Okay, so here I go. So the main tools you're going to use for this is going to be your paintbrush and your eyedropper tool. So I'm going to start by zooming in on my face. I think that's where I'm going to start painting over my face. So the way to get the color correct, use the right colors, is you can go up to this tool. If you click, looks like the crop tool, there's a little drop down menu. You're going to use your eyedropper tool. Okay, so what an eyedropper tool allows you to do is if I click anywhere on my photo, it's going to change the color of my color palette to that color. So you'll notice right down at the bottom, the color palette, that looks like a tan color. If I click here, it's going to look more white or red, depending on where you click in the screen. So you're going to be using this. So I'm going to start, and I'm probably going to zoom in on this area here. I've turned my paintbrush tan. So now I'm going to get my paintbrush right here, and I'm going to use my pencil tool. And up top here, I can click on this little drop down, and I can make the paintbrush size whatever size I want. So I'm going to start real detailed, probably get around 10 or 12, and then I'm going to keep the hardness of my brush pretty hard. I don't need soft edges right now. And then I want to make sure first that my layer is selected. Do not paint on top of your photo. Make sure your layer, transparent layer, is selected. And then you can just start painting in. Okay, so I'm going to just use this. I'm going to paint around. I'm going to paint all the areas that look similar in color. And you notice there's like a lot of shading and different kind of tones. So take your time with painting. And I'm going to kind of go real fast right here. Imagine that I've spent a lot of time kind of getting all that area done. Then I'm going to go back to my eyedropper I notice this little white area. I'm going to click down, so my paintbrush is going to turn that color. I'll get back to my pencil tool. I'm going to color in that little white area. Looks like there's some white up here, white in here, a little bit of white right here. Okay, some up here. So just keep going and get as detailed as you want. You can change the size of your brush, like I said, and just use that eyedropper tool for every different section. Here I'm gonna do my lips, make it more pink. I get my paintbrush tool again. I'm gonna go over my mouth. If your paintbrush is too big, make sure you come up here and change it, make it smaller. Okay, like this, and like that. So you get the idea. It's going to take a little while. You're going to want to be real detailed with drawing. And I'm going to show you my final product in a minute. I've already kind of did it for the sake of you not having to watch me draw everything, okay? But you're going to get your fine hair details, and you can layer as much as you want, right? And then you want to think about, hold on a second, let me go back to my eyedropper. I'm going to get this section. Make my brush bigger. You want to think about checking your progress every once in a while. So if you go to the layer that's underneath your photo, and if you uncheck the eyeball, that photo layer will disappear. So you're left with just your drawing. So right now, that's how you can check your progress. I'm not very far along in this right now, but that's gonna just show you kind of where you're at. Now, say like there's a section that you wanna do, like my blue shirt. That's a huge section. Maybe I wanna just color that in all at the same time. What I can do is use my magic wand tool, and I can press down on that area, and actually, this magic wand is only gonna highlight my transparent layer. So I'm gonna come up to File, Deselect. I don't wanna select my transparent layer. Right now I wanna click on my actual photo and then use my magic wand to highlight my blue shirt. And I'm gonna hold down Shift so it will select more of that area. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this entire section of my shirt highlighted. And then this is an important step. Before you use the paint bucket to fill that in, go back to your transparent layer, select that, then use your paint bucket tool, which is hiding under this little gradient tool, paint bucket. I got my paint bucket. I first need to use the eyedropper tool to select the blue. Okay, now I know that my paint bucket's gonna be blue. I can use that and then click down and anywhere in the highlighted area, and there we go. Now my shirt has all turned blue, and that's how you're able to do large sections of your painting all at once. And then I can come up to Select, Deselect, and now uncheck my eyeball on the painting, and I can see, there you go, my shirt's starting to fill in. So I will probably do that for my camera as well. I'll probably use this tool. I'm going to hold down Shift with the magic wand as best as I can. Get as much of that highlighted. There we go. I'm going to get my eyedropper tool. I'm going to select the actual camera. Then I'm going to go to my paint bucket tool, click anywhere in the... Oh, you're going to get that notice. If you get a notice that says it's not rasterized, that means you're on the wrong layer. So that was a mistake. I need to select the transparent layer. Just remember, you're never drawing on the actual photo itself. You're always drawing on the transparent layer. Now I can click in there, okay? And then go File, have to Select, Deselect, and I can turn off the eyeball on my image and tell I'm starting to make some progress. I got a little bit of my camera, a little bit of my shirt, some of my face. So you're just going to continue to do this step by step. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to remove the photo layer. So you're just left with your image. And the way, before you do that, you're gonna add one more layer, new layer, and you're gonna put this layer underneath the transparent layer. And this layer, you're gonna turn it white. So just get your paint bucket tool. You're gonna select white and click down. Everything's gonna turn white so that your colored animation is gonna be layered on top of a white background. And I'll show you eventually what it looks like. You can see my desktop. This is what it'll eventually look like. There you go. So after you take some time, you do a lot of blending, you use different shadowing techniques, you can change the texture of your tool box and all that to get your final image. So that's what your image should look, something like this. That's how you know you're done. Okay, and then to export your image, if you go into Photopea, say like this is the one that I want, you can then remove by clicking delete. You can remove this photo layer, delete, and now you're ready to export just your image. Again, this one's not done, but imagine that it is. Export as a JPEG. That's how you would save your final image. And that's the image that you're going to be uploading to Google Classroom. Okay, good luck. If you get stuck, ask me, email me, and watch the other tutorial videos for help.